Hello, it's J Mac here with All Access. It's where we go behind the scenes of the night show, going more in depth into interviews and fun times with the night show. Last year, I interviewed Jessica Wright. She shared her amazing testimony about her daughter Jordon, who received a heart transplant 16 years ago. Now Jordon is in need of a second heart transplant and facing complications in getting back on a transplant list. Today, joining me in studio is Laurie Paine, who is the mother of the little girl from 16 years ago who passed away and whose heart now currently lives inside of Jordon. Laurie, I want to start off and I want to ask you about your daughter, Ashley. Tell me about who she was.
She helped everybody. She was like a mother to anybody she met. I mean, she'd take anybody under her wing and just do whatever she could for them.
When she told you she wanted to be a donor, was it something that she kind of got on fire for? Was like, Mom, I really want to do this? Can you explain that?
Actually, I was not there when she made that decision. It was her dad that she had made that comment to. Anything she decided to do, she got on fire about regardless. So
yeah.
She goes all in if she's going to, was going to do anything. Again, she wanted to help people. But even if she wasn't around physically, that she could still have an impact on others' lives and be helpful for them and do something for them, which I thought was amazing. I mean, she always acted older than she was, but I can tell you, her dad and I were in the hospital and having to make the decision. They told us, well, you never get to find out who the recipient is, because it's private information and everything. They said, but what we will do is we will tell you when we have a match. We don't know by the name if it's a male or female, but we can tell you it is a 12-year-old. And her dad and I just looked at each other and said, that was a God thing. The age was perfect. And so it wasn't until we got home a few days later and my boss from work came by visiting and he said, did you know the little girl that got the heart? And I was like, what are you talking about? Because we weren't watching news or anything at that point. We couldn't do it. And so he started explaining it. Well, it turned out Jordon went to school with my stepson because he was living with his grandparents at the time in Kingston.
Wow.
So he had been in classes with her. But when everything kind of came together and all the dots were connected, it was perfect sense,
Yeah.
It blew us away. It really did. Especially knowing that she knew my stepson. It was just like, wow. I mean, there was no words to express that one.
So now Jordon's heart, who she has had your daughter's heart in her for the last 16 years.
Right.
And has now developed, which is common in cases where there's been heart transplants. It's a disease that happens usually after 10 years is when you start to see the surface.
Right.
Well, she's had the heart for 16 and now she needs another heart. And I just love how you have come to this family's aid. Tell us over the years, what has that relationship been like with Jessica and Jordon for you?
Well, I know when we were first approached, it was by Jessica, of course, and because I'm pretty sure it was Valentine's Day after, we just had somebody random knock at our door, which at this point, we were kind of used to that a little bit. And I answered the door, and there's Jessica, and she just starts spouting, I'm so sorry to bother you, but I'm da da da, and I'm just like, what? I was like, okay, hold on, pause. So, she explained who she was, and she said, I have Jordon in the car. She really, really wants to meet you. I mean, she completely caught me off guard, and I was really trying not to cry at that point. And I did not meet Jordon at that point. We weren't ready. But I kept in contact with Jessica. I'd say it was probably about a year and a half later I finally met Jordon, once I felt ready to. And since then, I mean, we've spent holidays with them. We do Christmases. I went to her graduation. Yeah. And it was funny, too, because, even Jordon's younger siblings, I mean, her sister is the same age as one of my daughters, and her brother is the same age as my sons.
Wow.
So everything kind of...
a mirror.
It's like everything lined up. And then, Jessica and I, when we started talking, well, we both got married in the same year, in the same month.
Wow.
Our birthdays are the same month. They're just a few days apart.
You didn't tell me any of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's just all these crazy things. It's been nice being able to be in touch and see the progress and see Jordon grow up, and not just her, but her family too. I mean, we became good friends. And
now Jessica's daughter Jordon's heart, she told me they had 17 medications that she's on right now that's keeping that heart going.
Right.
Whenever Jessica told me that we're wanting to come to their aid, I just thought, wow, here's this mom who's already been through so much losing her daughter, Ashley, got this beautiful relationship with this family now, and Jordon is in need once again of a heart. And here you are. And what is it that you're wanting to say?
For me, it's, I'd like somebody to step up. Somebody give her a second chance. I think the reasons Vanderbilt's got for denying her is ridiculous. Me getting to know the family, it's not like it's just somebody who's not putting in the work and the effort to take care of themselves. I mean, clearly, if Jordon's had her heart for 16 years, which is over the 10 years, she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. So from my perspective, I want them to put her back on the list and let her continue living her life. She's somebody I feel like deserves to. In a lot of ways, I think she's kind of like Ashley was, where she'll help anybody. She's so full of life and character. I mean, she's hilarious. I think there's some extraordinary people that deserve extraordinary things and have earned them, and I think Jordon's one of them.
And Laurie, I agree. So if you would like to help Jordon and her mother, Jessica, and their journey to get Jordon a new heart, there's a GoFundMe page that is currently set up that's helping with the expenses that are keeping them close to Vanderbilt. And you can find the link in the details of this podcast. And I just want to encourage you to give any amount if you can, because every little bit helps. And Jessica, Jordon's mother, encourages prayer. She says that they could use as many prayers as you guys can send for them. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to another episode of All Access with J Mac with 103.5 WIMC Knoxville's Classic Rock.